We're going to be talking about the Master Blaster launcher today. This is a 42-inch barrel, and this is the trigger valve assembly. It comes in two parts, two pieces. To put it together, all you have to do is open the cam up, slide the barrel down into the receptacle, and push the cam lock down. A little difficult to get that locked down, but it locks it in tight. There's no issue with the barrel separating from the valve. Now, to load this particular cannon, it's really quite easy. You can use speed load tubes, like I have here. This one happens to have regular rectangle cut confetti, flutterfetti, or you can use streamers. These are both speed loads. They're 18 inches. The barrel conveniently takes two of these. You can just use one. It's up to you. Also, this particular cannon will shoot long streamers. This streamer I have in my hand is 2 inches by 40 feet long. This cannon will shoot these streamers about 90 feet. Really quite impressive. You can get these longer streamers in tissue, mylar, whatever you like, any colors. Just if you have a color scheme that you're trying to follow, no problem. This one happens to be mylar. Now, the way we load this is we set the cannon, basically I just set it on the floor, as you can see. I would take a speed load tube, take that little cap off, we don't want to get the cap in there, and then dump the speed load right into the barrel. No work, very easy to do. If you were using the longer streamers, they come to you individually. Now, there's a tab on each streamer. You can see it right here. It's a piece of tape. What you do is you just tear that tab off and drop the streamer into the barrel. Very simple. Tear it off and drop the streamer into the barrel. I would fill the barrel up to about 3 inches, 4 inches from the top. About 3 inches would be good. Leave a little bit of breathing space in there. The reason is when that CO2 comes out, it's going to go ahead and push the streamers and the confetti up against that cap and help break it. Speaking of the cap, we do have a cap. It fits right over the top perfectly. This cap is made for us. It's waxed cardboard. It retains its shape. So you just put that cap on. Once you have the cap on, we're going to tape it. Put that down for a second. This is tape that will supply you, or you can use masking tape. This is a specialty tape. It works very well on this type of cannon. We're going to put the tape around the outer edge of the barrel, not over the top of the cap. We want the cap to break. So we put it around the outer edge, right up to the top of the cap, and then the other half of the tape is catching the barrel itself. Round and round it goes. You'll notice that I take my hand and I sort of wring it back and forth to make sure we have a good, solid, airtight cap. We don't want any air, CO2 sneaking out along sides of the tape. So make sure it's nice and tight. Now, to go ahead and energize it, we're going to turn our valve handle off, perpendicular, just like this. That would be in the 9 o'clock position for you, 3 o'clock for me. Anyway, perpendicular. Make sure it's all the way up. At the slightest little opening, the gas will escape through and blow the cannon. All the way up. When we're ready to go ahead and fire it, we'll go ahead and put CO2 into it. I'll do that now. The CO2 cartridge that we use is the typical CO2 cartridge. They use these for BB guns, paintball, so forth and so on. Our cartridge that we use is threaded, and that's to make sure that it's seated firmly and properly into the cannon, no chance of it coming out. So if you actually do go to Walmart or someplace to buy these cartridges, which you can, make sure they're threaded, not non-threaded. Non-threaded will not work on this cannon. All right, what we're going to do with the cartridge is we're going to put it into the bottom. Before we do that, though, we want to make sure that the valve handle is all the way up perpendicular. All the way, tight. Don't even leave it open a little bit because the gas will seep through and blow the cannon. Once it's all the way up and tight, I would suggest that you put the CO2 in until you feel resistance, until it stops. I wouldn't go any further at this particular point. The cartridge is not punctured and the CO2 is not in the reservoir at this point. I would wait to actually screw this in all the way and puncture it and get the CO2 in the reservoir a few minutes before your cue. And the reason I say that, if you put it in earlier and you're walking around with it and you hit your leg with the valve or on a piece of furniture, the valve runs the risk of opening, and just the smallest, slightest opening will blow the cannon. So if you're a few minutes before your cue, your handle is all the way up, you would simply screw the CO2 in quickly. It will hiss a little bit, that's perfectly fine, no problem. When it's punctured, it turns cold. The reservoir itself is cold as well. Not so cold you can't handle it, but you'll definitely tell the temperature difference. If it doesn't get cold, keep screwing it in until it does get cold. Now my handle's in the up position, my CO2 is in here and charged. Now when I walk around, if anything hits this handle, this cannon's going to explode. I recommend that whoever's going to fire it walk around holding the cannon like this, straight up, just in case something does happen, it'll just fire into the air. Our CO2 is screwed in, our reservoir is chilled and cold, our cam lock is locked down, we're loaded and ready. The valve is in the up closed position. All we do at this particular point is aim the cannon where we want it to go. I suggest it goes up over the top of the head of your audience. You want the streamers and the confetti to arc over them and then fall down on them. So pick your spot, hold it, and pull the handle down quickly. That's the Master Blaster. The beautiful thing about this cannon is it's totally portable. No wiring, no electricity, no batteries, no buttons to push, nothing. You walk into your event, you walk into the spot that you want to shoot from, you aim your cannon, you pull the valve down, and it shoots, you turn around and walk out. Thank you very much for using our products. Hopefully this was instructional for you. If there's any problems when you receive your equipment, there is a note on the inside of the box that lists the name and number. That's the number of our 24/7 complimentary tech service. Any questions whatsoever, please give them a call and they will walk you through every step for a successful event. Thanks again. Bye-bye.